99.7 DJX, the Ben Davis and Kelly K Show podcast.
Supplying every demand.
On demand.
Sometimes you just want a third opinion, and that's where we come in. You know, you shoot us a message. You can just go to WDJX.com, click on group therapy, and you can listen back to some of the ones that we featured. You can also submit your own, and, you know, we'll toss it out to the group. See if we
We're
can
unbiased.
Yeah.
We have friends.
And we have no emotional connection to your situation. So that's kind of where we help out. All right. So we got this message from a listener who says, okay, so no real secret. My mom doesn't like the guys I pick.
Okay. All right.
So I'm a good girl, but I'm attracted to the bad boys.
Classic.
And at my age, I'm totally fine with someone who does questionable things, and I don't really care if they work either. I work and make really good money.
Okay, whoa. What kinds of questionable things are we talking about?
She put in quotes, like drugs. She doesn't do them. She's clean.
Okay.
So she goes and says, so been with my guy for over 3 years. I have never said anything bad about him to my family, and he makes me happy. I love him. He loves me. But got locked up for something that was an accident, but it was my fault. However, my mom doesn't understand that and thinks I should move on. He will.
That's a lot. Can we pause for just a second? He got locked up for something she did?
Yeah, do you want me to reread that sentence?
I feel like, yeah, that was a very big sentence. She just kind of like rolled right on past it.
Okay. She says, I have never said anything bad about him to my family, and he makes me happy. I love him. He loves me, but got locked up for something that was an accident, but was my fault.
Okay, so he's currently in jail?
Sounds like she could probably be in jail if they knew.
Wow.
So she says, however, my mom doesn't understand that and thinks I should move on. Now, he'll be in jail for about a year. My family lives in a different state and hasn't really ever been around him. And my mom has only spent maybe 5 hours around him in the 3 years we've been together. So they really don't know him. So how do I get them out of my business? She says in all caps. Should I pretend to dump my boyfriend and that I'm single? I've tried to just ignore the comments from my family, but it's getting annoying. Please help.
Okay. I feel like
there's a lot
I don't
to
know
unpack
if
there.
I feel like, how honest do I get right now? Because
Kelly, here's the thing.
Like
You don't
I'm
have
on the side of her family.
Well, you don't have any emotional connection to it. And so sometimes I feel like some of these times people reach out to us because they need to hear what they maybe know is true in their subconscious, but they can't bring themselves to admit it.
Well, here's where my brain is going, because we had a scenario kind of similar to this where she was upset that, you know, she was the one that was working. Her boyfriend just sat at home playing video games all the time, didn't want to work. And we were all like, kick him out, kick him to the curb. So I feel like, how can we, now that she has a guy that's in jail for a year, makes questionable decisions, doesn't work, are we... like, how in the world can we be like, no, yeah, stay with this guy and just tell your parents to leave you alone? I'm not sure I can honestly give that kind of advice.
Well, Leanne wants you to be really honest when you asked, how honest should I be? Yeah, I mean, I think she needs to hear this. Like, you know, listen, I don't know the circumstances of why he's in jail right now. I know that if it's jail, you know, it's not prison. I don't know if that's better or worse, but
I don't think it's good. I don't think these are ever going to be in his pro category. Like, if we're doing a pros and cons list, that's not going to, it's literally in the con list.
So I wonder why her family, and maybe this is part of the deeper part of this, I wonder why her family has had nothing good to say about this guy, even though, according to her, they've only been around him very, very few times in the 3 years they've been together. They live in a different state, and she says nothing but great things about him.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they hear things the grapevine. social media, but she didn't paint him in a very good light at all in her message to us. So I'm just, again, struggling to find redeeming qualities other than the fact that she loves him.
Yeah,
it doesn't feel like it's a really healthy relationship under the surface. Like she may think that he's fulfilling her needs and that, they're happy together and it doesn't matter that he, doesn't work and makes kind of illegal choices, I don't know.
Illegal choices. Maybe he didn't even make the illegal choices. Maybe she did.
Well, so anyway, she did mention drugs.
All right. Let's pause for a hot sec. I don't know if we can be on her side or not, but
I'm uncomfortable. Like I kind of just feel like she says fake like breaking up with him. I feel like break up.
Well,
for real.
Let's toss it out to you. I want to hear what you have to say at Ben and Kelly Show or 502-571-9970. All right, group therapy. I'm going to try to bottle this all up in one, easy to digest pill. We got a message from a listener. She's got a boyfriend who she's dated for 3 years, who loves her. She loves him, makes her happy. He's in jail for about a year. So she said it was her fault. It was an accident. However, he got pinched for it. Her family doesn't like him.
And she says that he's got kind of a past of doing questionable things too.
Questionable things. She's all right with that. She makes really good money. She's all right with that.
Exactly.
The family.
And she's all right if he doesn't work.
Yeah, and the family really hasn't seen him, known him, or been around him in the 3 years because they live in another state. And she's like, should I just pretend to dump my boyfriend just to get him off my back about this?
And so I think my first, concern is that I feel like she's kind of blinded right now by her feelings for him. Mm-hmm. Now, I didn't ask what he looks like. If he looks like Ryan Reynolds, I get it.
Oh my God.
I should ask for pictures for research purposes.
I gotta. I'll wait for you. I will wait for you.
I need to have all the facts, right?
All right. To make an informed decision.
Right. Because to be honest, the way she described him, he didn't seem to have a lot of fantastic qualities that would make it obvious that we get it why you are going through all of this with him being in jail and all.
Andy tweeted us and said, didn't she say he's in jail because of her? If she dumps him, will he rat her out and then she go to jail?
Yeah, I see. There's a lot in that little sentence that we don't know.
Okay, so I want
about all of that.
So Tosh is on the phone and she is dating a guy who he's your husband now, right? Who used to be in jail. What was your situation?
I have a different situation. I left my husband of 9 years to be with my husband now, who was imprisoned when I met him.
Okay.
I stuck by his side. I mean, it really depends on what he's in jail for one. If he's willing to change his lifestyle when he gets out, for two.
So, Tasha, you're kind of saying if they share a love and he is rehabilitated thanks to jail, then stick with him and, just be honest with the parents?
My mom didn't agree with my situation. My mom didn't agree with anything. I just stood my ground with him. And I told him how it was going to be.
Okay.
Now, my family absolutely loves him.
All right. So in your case, you stood your ground and your family came around to like him.
Exactly.
Tasha, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Heather, thanks for hanging on. What's your thought?
Okay, first of all, she needs to get rid of him. I have an 18-year-old daughter, and this would not fly. He's obviously living off of her and whatever. But I think that the way it might be her fault is that maybe they were driving in the car. She was driving. She got pulled over, and he had drugs in the car and had too much to get him a year in jail?
I could see that. Obviously, we don't know; it's all speculation. But yeah, I could see that as a scenario. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how it could be her fault unless something like that happened, but whatever.
Right.
But I definitely think that her mom is correct or her family's correct, and I think she needs to take this year off from him and
reevaluate
concentrate on herself. Yeah. Yeah, not a good scenario. I mean, I love the fact that she's willing to love somebody for, not possessions and money and things, but I just think he's a moocher, and I don't know, maybe that's the mom in me.
Yeah.
But,
all right, Heather, thank you.
Have a great day, guys.
All right, you too.
That was a really good point. She was pointing out, you know what? She's found, the things to love about him despite the other things that typically people look for. I think that was a good idea. I really like the suggestion of taking the year to reassess some things, to really look at the life. Erica texted lots of questions here. Is she wanting to stay with him because she feels guilty about him going to jail? Oh. Also, how old is she? Because there comes a point in time when you decide to make life decisions for yourself and not your family. I'm 30. I have zero problems blatantly telling my family to butt out.
Right. Right.
I think if she's asking us all these questions and what to do, this is not a relationship that's meant to be. I say completely break it off and see where life takes her.
Yeah.
But if there's any possibility of getting back with this guy in a year, she needs to make sure to still not paint a dark picture of him.
Yeah.
If after a year she wants him back,
yeah,
she will still want her family and friends to have a good image of him.
Listen, and I'm going to say something here. People who go to jail and go to prison, they deserve happiness too.
Well, absolutely. It's all in, if you make a mistake, it's what you do after the mistake that really is the true judge of your character.
Exactly. So I don't think, maybe, man, this is tough. I got a text from a listener. The girl that was just on the phone, Tasha, sounds nuts. Let's not listen to her. Listen.
Oh, wow.
We're not.
Wow, listen.
Let's not put down the people who are calling the show.
This is a circle of trust here. All opinions are welcome.
Jamie texts in and says, hey, so my first thought is you're wanting to break up with a guy who went to jail for something you did, yet you want to break up with him because of your parents. No. That's not the thing. She wants to stay with him. That's the thing. She wants
to try to but her parents don't like him. So she's wondering, should I lie to my parents, just say we're not dating anymore just to get him off my back?
Okay. All right.
And Christina pointed out, she said, she needs to run. This guy's going to ruin everything about her credit, her personal life. She's going to end up in jail too. Let's be honest. If she got pregnant, he'd never paid child support. So I don't know. There's lots of things, obviously, for her to think about.
There is.
And I think maybe this time, while they are forced to be apart, that she reevaluates really, everything about their relationship and maybe try to take her feelings out of it and really look at it through the lens that I think everybody else is looking at it with.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of on her family side. And I can't really be on the side of our listener here who's saying, hey, I need help telling my family that I love him and that he's going to be he's right for me, and
we can only go off of the information she's given us, and from what she's told us, I don't have a great feeling that this is her happily ever after.
Yeah, so I think I don't know if we're all saying it, but you can definitely, if you didn't get through now, you can let your opinion be known on Facebook. That's a great spot to leave it. We'll post this up at Ben and Kelly Show. But if you want, you can. But I think collectively we're saying take this year that he's in jail, reevaluate your love for him, why you love him, and see if you are going to be better off if that person is not in your life after the year is over.
Yeah, really look at the long term here. Like, where is your life going to be? Potentially, if you continue on with things the way that they are with him, the way that he is, or are you going to be better off if you part ways now?
Yeah. Okay. I know it's tough. And sometimes
it's hard. It's tough to do.
Yep. Sometimes you got to come to us and we got to just give you the hard answer, Sentence. Basically, her boyfriend of 3 years is in jail. She says it's her fault, but he's there. Her family lives in another state, has never liked him, even though they don't even know him. So she was wondering if she should just pretend to break up with him so they'll leave her alone. So there was
a lot more to it, though. Like, I feel like there's a lot of missing information that she just didn't share that might help in painting a more accurate picture of their relationship to help us really figure out the full picture, I guess.
I do want to highlight a comment Davi wrote on our Facebook and says, I was listening to the show and I thought I'd share my opinion. One, I think we're looking at this wrong. I think he is the one that needs to rethink his life with her. Couples, couples strengthen and support each other. So if she is okay with him not having a job, doing questionable things and going to jail for something that, may be her fault, then she's not really good for him. Who cares how much money she makes? Now, on the flip side, we don't really know enough facts to determine good advice for the situation. So, that brings up a good point because, I had said, listen, like people in jail and prison, they deserve to have happiness. Through rehabilitation and
people make mistakes.
Humans, for sure.
It's what you do after that mistake that really is the true, content of your character. Now, Davey said there are plenty of bad guys who don't want to work, like to do drugs, would simply love her to support them. If that's the case, she has plenty of people to choose from. But in just my opinion, she's the one that needs some relationship counseling.
Yeah. And I don't think this is exactly what she wanted to hear from us, quite honestly.
No, I think, she was probably just wanting us to say, yes, just tell your parents you broke up and go on with your life.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much.
I feel like there's a lot of red flags, though, that maybe she's not seeing.
Yeah. I appreciate you hanging on and calling us about this. What was your take?
And I'm a firm believer in positive changes. And before I got married, my husband went to jail for a year, and it was the best possible change that could have ever happened for him. Like, there's a lot of germs in there, so he cleans the house all the time.
Yeah.
He always keeps all clothes folded and tidied up. He's a very strong man because of what happened. So I really don't think she should count off the fact that, that he's going to jail for a year. It can make really positive changes as long as the man is willing to accept those changes.
Yeah. And, I did mention, I'm like, listen, people who go to jail or prison, they deserve to be happy too.
Yeah, I heard you say that. And that's when I was like, you know what? He's exactly right. Because my husband, it was the best possible thing for him.
Well, let's hope in this case that he can get the help he needs and really make a positive change when he comes out.
Yeah, totally. I totally understand.
But again,
it was a thing. It was a thing that, she had mentioned he has a history of making questionable decisions. So maybe if he decides I'm not going to make questionable decisions anymore, I'm going to turn things around, then maybe there's a future.
Yeah. All right. So just because maybe you missed it the first time doesn't mean it's gone forever. You can always catch up on what you missed. Facebook at Ben and Kelly Show or WDJX.com. Click listen.